see them. Cut off his head, stick it on a pike. Raise it high up so the soldiers can see. That's what deserves to live things.
Want all the money and the power, and some are content getting paid by the hour. Some will stand up tall against the morning current. Some will never even know the meaning of I earn it. Then we have the runners who all claim they'd win the race, who are nowhere to be found, so they never even place. It's not the strongest guy or the gun used in the fight. The battles are all won by the dog with the most bite. A fake plastic rose in a garden by the tower. From far enough away looks just like a real flower. But pretending that you serve just to show off for some girls is disgusting when our troops are dying all around the world. You spend your day sipping cocoa, lounging in your robe, talking girls online, Macaulay Culkin all alone, creating all these fairy tales you tell girls on the phone. But the price to have that freedom comes at a cost you've never known. It's paid in blood by soldiers who are never coming home. Pretending that you serve is the lowest form of coward. Child rapist, wife beaters. Number 3 is stolen valor. A regular modern day version of Tom Sawyer with the heart that's smaller than a baby Vernon Troyer. And there's just too many me even Nike can't defeat. If you ever want your peace, you'll need at least a dozen lawyers. And you should never go to sleep. And even though I should ignore you, Lady Death is my employer. The name across my Death Star is the SS Little Man Planet Destroyer. And I've already deployed her. Here's your civilian warrior orders. Run, Forrest, run for it. Because your civilian air war stories have really just annoyed us. We brought you in our group to play a game and we enjoyed it. As for me, you check and see. My bloodline's of a troubled family, humanity's insanity. Can't stand the men like you and hang them from the family tree. I'm a natural born killer, it's in my DNA and I can feel it. Your mama tells us you have nightmares and you cry when you watch Thriller. I got a lot of friends that served and some of them still do. And I'd be disrespecting them if I don't stuff a hole in you. You can wear your costumes, wear the stripes, and you've been warned. You see good men that gave their lives to wear that uniform. You disgrace them with your lies and there is no place you can hide. I always hunt down all your kind and strike them down one at a time. You think you're one that I won't find. You think you have a brilliant mind, but something you don't realize is I'm completely fucking out of mine. Someone I see I always find, so you don't just watch your 6, watch your 3, your 12, and 9. Rip the plastic metals off and they won't sit atop your coffin. Friendly fire comes all too often. Giant cliffs you get thrown off of. Your suicide notes written thoughtful. And that's where I will make my introduction. Pay a visit to your loved ones just to see how thick the blood runs. I give every man a warning that expire the early morning. And then it's time to run up just as soon as I see sunup. Admit to each and every one that you told all these lies. But X will soon be coming and there's no place you can hide. I don't care if you're a multi-billionaire heir to the goddess of air. You still wouldn't dare if I was standing right there to take a breath of my air. Staring square in your eyes while you're staring at your pair of Skechers size 9. Get to his Parkinson's hands trying to draw a straight line after the 7th glass of wine. I even tried to bring you in my house and join the team so you could live out all those fairy tales, but in reality, and break bread with the king. I want to give your life some meaning before you go on Robin Williams from your bedroom ceiling. Look, I get it. I know just how you're feeling. All those years of therapy and you haven't felt the healing. I saw those layers started peeling and saw you're just a kid that's stuck inside the body of a 58-year-old invalid. I give you just one day, enough time for you to say that you're legit mental, apologize for all the lies, or show us all credentials. And if you can't, or if they're fake, then you just made the last mistake you'll ever make. I'll tell you one thing you can do. Jump off a cliff without a chute. Just relax, enjoy the view before the ground is one with you. And I know you'll try. You'll run and beg and cry and tell Louise you're what she needs because X is a horrible guy. Just like every other time, everyone before you try, you'll ask her, please just talk to me. Remember that, Mr. Kiev? You're up all night and you can't eat, but I'll give you a little treat, a secret you might actually keep. Instead of going behind my back and thinking I won't see, I want to share this letter that the president received.
And they handed me a letter.
When you were on a secret mission in the Balkan Seas, undercover super deep and nowhere to be seen, this letter's written by a pretty girl who signed it, sincerely, Louise.
Dear Major Zachary, I think it's adorably sad how badly you're attracted to me, but it just could never work out because I prefer my man more manly and one who maybe would stand up for me. I thought for sure when you saw my name be slandered, you'd demand from X some answers. He'd look out and you'd be standing in his garden pistol handy, dressed like Bond in something fancy. Yell out it's time we danced, do your black belt kung fu stance. That would have been romantic, although X would have ruined your plans. You see, he's all the things you claim to be. be. First he'd ask you nicely just to leave, bring you and drink and bite to eat, or anything that you might need. He'd really try to stop the fight, sit down and ask if you're alright, because he's a really nice guy, misunderstood and hardly liked by those who don't know of his flight. But if his offers don't decline, that's what makes him lose his mind. Then he will likely end your life and won't lose any sleep that night. So before you get all hyped, please think real careful what you type. Might be the last thing that you write.
Hey, Zach, what are you going to see before you die?
Well, Mama says a beautiful angel is going to fly down and take my hand, and then we're going to float up to heaven to see Pawpaw.
Wrong.
The next thing I know, I got this long message, which I didn't realise was a common theme with him at the time, about how my profile was so different and how I was so unique and how he'd love to chat to me and all this shit. I mean, first of all, come on, that's like that. And when it came to the line, pinning it up on his wall, it was quite entertaining in how stupid he must have thought I was when everyone else buy any of it. It was just him against, first of all, he told 50,000 people. He works for he knew he didn't have a chance, but he's a secret agent group.
The circuit's dead, there's something whack. Can you hear me, Major Zach? Can you hear me, Major Zach? Can you hear me, Major Zach?